When you're growing a new blog, building an email list should be your absolute number one priority. I know that surprises some people living in the age of social media, but even today, an email list is the single most effective tool for generating repeat traffic and repeat customers on demand. Think about it. It's a communication tool, the only communication tool that you own, meaning no newsfeed update or new search algorithm will ever impact your ability to reach people with it. Almost everyone checks their email every day. And more importantly, people have to opt into your email list, meaning everyone on your list actually wants to hear from you. Your list is your greatest asset for building a strong community and a profitable business. We have a lot to go over in this section. We'll talk about which email marketing service to use, how to entice people to opt in, 15 specific ways to grow your email list more quickly and effectively, and what you should actually send to people once they're on your list. When you're ready to start building an email list, you'll need an email marketing service to collect email addresses and deliver your messages. There are a ton of different solutions out there, and it would probably take hours to go through all of them. MailChimp and Aweber are the two I've used extensively, so I'd like to talk briefly about each of them. First, MailChimp. So MailChimp is the service I typically recommend to new businesses just getting started because they offer a package that's totally free for your first 2,000 subscribers. With that said, if you ever go over 2,000 subscribers, you will have to pay, but they're pretty affordable. Their rates start at $10 a month. I should also mention that free accounts have a MailChimp logo in the bottom of their emails, which isn't a huge deal, but it can conflict with your branding. One of MailChimp's big selling points is its intuitive, beginner-friendly interface. It's really easy to get started, even if you've never done email marketing before. For paying customers, it also offers autoresponders, which allow you to send a series of time-delayed messages after people join your list. And then we have Aweber, which starts at $19 a month. First and foremost, Aweber has one of the highest, if not the highest, deliverability rates in the business. So when you send an email with Aweber, you know for a fact that it's going to reach people and not get caught in a spam filter. That is a huge selling point. Aweber also has amazing customer support. When I first signed up, I got a personal phone call welcoming me to the service and asking if I had any questions. And if you ever need a hand, you can reach Aweber's support team by phone, email, or live chat, and they are ridiculously helpful. Like MailChimp, Aweber allows you to set up an autoresponder series, but instead of sending relative to the subscriber's sign-up date, they send relative to the previous message. What that means is you can easily rearrange your series and switch up the order with a drag-and-drop interface without having to edit each individual message. So that is a really convenient feature. Aweber isn't quite as beginner-friendly as MailChimp, but it's not hard to learn. Once you get used to it, it is a breeze. If you're willing to pay for your email service, I highly recommend going with Aweber. The ROI is just phenomenal for the price. If you're not ready to shell out money just yet, MailChimp's free option is still a great value. And by the way, there are plenty of other services out there. I've heard positive things about Constant Contact, GetResponse, ConvertKit, Campaign Monitor. These are just the two I have the most experience with. Feel free to do your own research and go with the service that best meets your needs. As long as you're building a list, you're on the right track. Once you decide on an email marketing platform and set up a list, you need to convince people to actually sign up. Most email services will have a built-in form builder where you can design a form and get a snippet of code to embed it on your website. If you're not happy with the style of the forms they offer, there are plenty of WordPress plugins to help you create beautiful custom opt-in forms and place them on your site. 4 premium plugins come to mind right away: Opt-in Monster, Bloom by Elegant Themes, Thrive Leads, and SumoMe, which offers a whole suite of digital marketing tools. There's also a great free plugin available from WordPress.org that's simply called Opt-in Forms. All of these integrate directly with the top email marketing platforms. When you're growing your list, it's crucial to incentivize the opt-in. I'm going to say that again in case you didn't hear me. It's crucial to incentivize the opt-in. Inboxes are more crowded than ever, and nobody's going to give you their email address just because you want it. you have to offer something of value in return. In some cases, it can just be the content of the emails you'll be sending if you write an industry newsletter or something like that. But in most cases, it's better to give people instant gratification with some kind of free resource in exchange for their email address. This is often referred to as a lead magnet because it attracts marketing leads, and it's probably the most effective way to get email signups. Here are some ideas to help you come up with a super effective lead magnet. A checklist or cheat sheet is a classic lead magnet that converts really well because it's so easy to digest. You just package everything people need to know into a simple, actionable list. And the general consensus in the marketing world is that short resources like checklists will actually convert better than something like an ebook because it's short and the time commitment required to consume it is minimal. A toolkit is a list of tools that you use for a particular purpose. So if you write a photography blog, for example, you could put together a list of your favorite hardware and software that you use for the job. A resource list saves people from having to do research themselves and compiles the most important resources in one place. And by the way, you'll notice the most common theme for many of these lead magnets is that they save people time and energy. That should be your number one goal. A template is some kind of outline that people can grab and apply to their own life just by filling in the blanks. Pretty simple. Calendars and planners are a huge opportunity if you want to help people achieve a long-term goal. You basically tell people what to do each day over a certain period of time, and they do it. So for example, if you write a blog about health and fitness, you could offer meal plans or workout routines as a lead magnet. Spreadsheets are a really good way to store data where you need to make live calculations, but a lot of people don't know how to program a spreadsheet to do what they want. You can fill that need by offering some kind of spreadsheet as a free resource. For instance, a personal finance blogger could offer a budgeting spreadsheet so people can just download it and input their own numbers to make it work. Earlier, I mentioned that shorter resources tend to outperform longer ones, but if you can write an extended guide or ebook that's actionable and rewarding enough, it can be a solid lead magnet. Just make sure you deliver plenty of value and don't waste people's time. You can deliver a simple email course by setting up an autoresponder series. Just write a series of emails and queue them up to send every couple of days or so after someone signs up. If your blog appeals to a creative market, printables can be a great option. Artistic materials, calendars, shopping lists, just put something into an attractive, print-friendly PDF file and offer it to new subscribers. Next is a report. In the content section, we talked about conducting original research and sharing the results in a blog post. Another twist on that concept would be to share your results in a downloadable PDF in exchange for email addresses. You can summarize your results on your blog and point people to the free download if they want to learn more. In certain industries, audio makes more sense as a format than text or video. It's great for busy entrepreneurs or something like guided meditation, for example. Just set up an opt-in form and deliver the file as an MP3. Live webinars are an amazing way to build trust with your audience, and they're also a great way to collect email addresses. Have people sign up if they're interested, then send them more details by email. GoToWebinar by Citrix is the most popular solution for hosting live webinars. PDF version. A super easy but highly effective way to turn blog readers into subscribers is by offering a PDF version of your longer blog posts. For some people, it's just a more convenient way to consume the content. You can do it manually or use a tool like printfriendly.com to convert your content into a PDF in like 60 seconds. Wallpaper or other art. If you're a designer, you can make some of your work available for free in exchange for an email opt-in. Wallpapers are great, as are Facebook and Twitter cover photos. Photoshop templates are really effective if your audience is full of designers or other creatives. Community. You could offer a private community exclusive to people who opt into your list. This can be something you create and host yourself with the BuddyPress plugin for WordPress, for example, or it can be as simple as a Facebook group or Slack team. People love surrounding themselves with like-minded individuals to network and share ideas, and an email address is a very small ask in return. If you run a service business, case studies are one of the best ways to land new clients. If you can show how you've helped someone else, that's social proof, which is a big factor in the buying process. When you put a case study behind an opt-in form, the leads you get from that form will be highly qualified and more likely than other groups to buy from you. Along the same lines, offering a free quote in exchange for contact information will deliver highly qualified leads that you can then follow up with and close. So those are all solid ideas for potential lead magnets. You don't have to pick just one. In fact, it's smart to combine several different lead magnets into your strategy. That way you can appeal to different segments of your audience with different offers. By the way, when you create a lead magnet, make sure you give it the time and attention it deserves. The lead magnet sets the tone for your entire relationship with your email subscribers, so it should be something you're proud of. Now let's talk about delivery. Most people deliver lead magnets in one of two ways. The first is to include a download link on your thank you page, which is where you send people as soon as they sign up. The other is to put a download link in the welcome email that's delivered as soon as people confirm their subscription. That's the method I prefer because your download link isn't on a public web page, so only your subscribers will be able to access it. Lead magnets are essential for growing an email list, so start thinking about which ones you'd like to employ on your blog, and in the next lecture, we'll dive deeper on some specific methods you can use to grow your email list using lead magnets and creative opt-in forms. So how do you actually grow your email list? That's the question I want to answer in this lecture, and to do that, we're going to go over 15 different strategies that you can use to get people to opt in to your list. Ready? One of the best ways to get email signups is with what's called a feature box, which is a big area above the content of your website, usually on the homepage, that tells people exactly what your website is about with a strong call to action encouraging them to sign up for your email list. It's really powerful when somebody lands on your homepage because they instantly know what you're all about, and they know exactly what to do next if they think you can bring them value. If your blog has a sidebar, as most do, you should try to utilize that space wisely. The very first thing in your sidebar, in most cases, should be an opt-in form. People expect to see that there, and if they're looking for it, that's usually where they're going to look. A lot of bloggers fail to capture leads at the end of their posts, and they're missing a huge opportunity. If someone reads all the way to the end of your post, they're clearly engaged with your content, so that's the perfect place to ask them to join your list by offering some kind of free resource in exchange. You can also include an opt-in form right within your post content. You've already got the reader's attention, so it's the perfect place to offer up a relevant freebie and get them on your list. And the longer your content, the more opt-in forms you can get away with. I would only include one if your post is in the 500 to 1,000 word range, but if you've got a monster post with 3,000 or 4,000 words or more, you can feel justified with 2 or 3 opt-in forms within the content itself. If you have a core lead magnet that you want to promote to your entire audience, your navigation bar is prime real estate to do just that. Use an enticing label and link to a landing page where people can opt in and pick up your freebie. Your about page is where people go to learn who you are and what you do. If they're interested enough to do that, they may be interested enough to sign up for your list. Make sure you have at least one opt-in form on your about page. Header bar. Use a plugin like Hello Bar to add a crystal clear call to action at the very top of your site. This is great for growing your list or really promoting anything to your audience in an unobtrusive but effective way. Pop-ups. I know what you're thinking. Pop-ups are annoying, and in many cases I totally agree. But here's the thing. They work. Lightbox pop-ups are one of the best ways to convert visitors into subscribers. If you're going to use pop-ups, make sure you offer a free resource that's valuable enough to justify getting up in people's faces. There are plenty of plugins that can do pop-ups for you, including Opt-in Monster, Bloom by Elegant Themes, SumoMe, and Thrive Leads. Again, make sure you're offering enough value to justify the annoyance that comes with interrupting people while they're reading your content. Exit intent pop-ups are pop-ups that trigger right when a user moves their mouse to leave the page. They're slightly less obtrusive than a normal pop-up because they don't interrupt visitors while they're browsing your site, and they can help you capture emails from people who would otherwise leave and maybe never come back. The key to success here is to offer something relevant and enticing enough for someone to spend 10 more seconds typing in their email address. Slide up or fly in forms. This one has a different name depending on who you're talking to, but it's a little box that slides up from the bottom, usually in the lower right-hand corner of the page, offering the user something and asking for their email address. This is much, much less annoying than a full-size pop-up, and it's still pretty effective. turn commenters into subscribers. People who comment on your blog are already more engaged than your average visitor. So what if you could turn them into email subscribers? There are a couple ways to do this. One way is to use the free Comment Redirect plugin, which automatically redirects first-time commenters to a page of your choice. And on that page, you can thank them and offer them one of your freebies if they opt into your list. And it's really nice because it's only first-time commenters. So once the person leaves their second comment, they no longer get sent over to that page. The other way is to add a checkbox to the comment form itself, where people can choose to join your list right as they post their comments. If you use MailChimp, the MailChimp for WordPress plugin offers this functionality, as does the newsletter sign-up plugin. Two-step opt-in process. This one is a little counterintuitive, but it's worth trying. Usually when people have a pop-up or other call to action to get people on their list, you'll have the opt-in form embedded right there. But some data suggests it may be better to add another step and have people click a button before the form even shows up. Obviously, they still have to enter their email address, but they don't even see the form until after they've clicked the button. The psychology here is this. It's a lot easier to click a button than to fill out a form, and once they've clicked the button, they've made a subconscious commitment to the process and are now much more likely to follow through. Super weird, I know, but it works. Many of the plugins I've mentioned support a button or link to trigger a Lightbox form, so definitely give that a try. We've mentioned social proof a couple of times. Social proof does wonders when you're trying to get people to do anything, whether it's buying your product or opting into your list. If you already have a sizable list, say 10,000 subscribers, you can show off that number. But when you're just getting started, you're not going to have a huge subscriber base to flaunt. So here's an alternative. Testimonials. Quote someone saying something nice about you or your work. Bonus points if that person is a prominent figure in your industry. Even if you're new to the game, you can get testimonials from influencers by offering them some kind of value first, such as a guest post for their blog. But even if you don't have anything from the big guys, something is always better than nothing. Reach out to your most engaged readers and ask for a quote. If someone leaves a nice comment on your blog, ask permission to feature it. Social proof will lend credibility to your brand and increase your conversion rates. Facebook ad retargeting. If you have some money to spend, Facebook ads are an incredible way to capture leads. The nitty-gritty of a Facebook ad campaign is a little outside the scope of this course, but one of my favorite tactics is to use the Facebook tracking pixel to target people who visited your site but didn't opt into your list, and then offer them one of your lead magnets in a promoted Facebook dark post. This works really well because you're targeting warm traffic, people who have already been exposed to your content and are at least somewhat familiar with who you are, so they're more likely to want to see more. And finally, I want to encourage you to test all of this. What works for me or other bloggers or marketers may not necessarily work for you. Every blog is different and every audience is different. So use the split testing functionality in whatever opt-in plugin you choose and test different designs, different copy, different placements, pop-ups versus no pop-ups, and so on and so forth. Testing is how you optimize your conversion rates. So let's say you have an email list and you've got some strategies in place to get more people signed up. What do you do next? A pretty common mistake is thinking of your list as a group of people you email when you have something to sell. That's a mindset you'll want to avoid. Now, when you do have something to sell, your email list can and should be your number one sales driver. But that only works if you've spent time nurturing it. You have to continually bring value to the people on your list with no expectation of return. These are your VIPs. They like your content, they've asked you to send them more stuff, and it's up to you to start building a relationship with them. And good relationships are based on trust. So what does this mean? It means you have to spend a significant amount of time giving before you ever ask for anything. Gary Vaynerchuk has a great book called Jab, 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 Right Hook, which applies a boxing metaphor to the marketing world. Basically, jab, 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 right hook means give, 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 then ask. So you want to give people as much free value as possible before you ever ask for their money or their time or anything else. It's also worth considering that our inboxes are more crowded than ever before. Remember when you first started using email? You probably opened and read every single message, right? I know I did. But today, I delete well over 75% of my emails without even opening them. So you really have to earn your place in your subscribers' inboxes. Specifically, Here are a few ideas for what you could send to your email list to provide value and build trust. First, we have the welcome email, which is the autoresponder message that triggers as soon as someone confirms their email address. This is probably where you'll include whatever free resource you promised them, but it's also a good time to introduce yourself and set the expectations for the relationship. So go over what you'll be sending them and when and how often they can expect to hear from you. Exclusive content. Again, the people on your list deserve to be treated like VIPs. So offer them some exclusive content that you don't publish on the web. It's okay to promote new blog posts to your list, but if that's all you do, where's the added value? What's the incentive to join your list rather than just visiting your site? Remember what I said earlier, you have to incentivize the opt-in. Questions. You know that guy who just talks about himself all the time and never includes you in the conversation? Not even much of a conversation, right? Well, the same concept applies to your email list. Invite people to hit the reply button and share their thoughts and feedback. You can even add a dedicated autoresponder message asking people to tell you about themselves and their challenges. Make it clear that you actually read the responses, and you'll start getting real, direct feedback from your audience that you can use to tailor future content to them. Bonus points if you start replying to their replies and then build one-on-one relationships, which are not scalable but can be extremely powerful. Unexpected freebies. One of the best ways to build rapport with your subscribers is by sending them an unexpected gift from time to time. It can be something you'd normally use as a lead magnet, or even something more extensive if you want to go deeper. Either way, it's an amazing way to deliver value and remind people why they signed up in the first place. Again, nurturing your list really comes down to providing massive free value to earn your keep. Once you've built up a solid relationship with your subscribers through lots of free value, selling is a breeze. People buy from those they trust. And the law of reciprocity tells us that if you continually deliver free value, people will be more than willing to give back when the time comes.